This is the Schrade Leroy Bowie. Comes in a nylon sheath with a big old belt loop that I never use. It also seems a little bit small to put your belt through. Comes with a pull-through sharpener also, which obviously that takes you straight to hell if you use one of these. Here's the knife unsheathed. It is a big old Bowie knife with a low hollow grind, obviously, to keep down the cost. This knife only was 50 bucks, which is insane for what you get here actually. It looks like a 4.5 millimeter thick blade stock of Aus 8 steel. You can see the name of the knife, and it has a rubberized handle which has a lot of give to it. The construction is screwed on, which actually is nice because you could potentially make your own scale for this. It shouldn't be too hard. And yeah, a lot of give to the handle. You can see it's also a very narrow handle, very thin. But it is very wide in this dimension right here. So the grip is a little bit unusual, but yeah, overall I think it looks pretty cool. Let's see how it cuts. The knife came decently sharp out of box. Obviously this is still a factory edge, so it's not clean and perfect, but it is cutting wood nonetheless, which is pretty good, as it should be. A piece came flying right into my face. Yay! Look at this bad boy right here. This is a big old tree stump. Let's see how this works. So far the coating holds up pretty good, as it seems. Probably will wear down quicker than other blade coatings, I would assume. Did you just assume my coating? Huh. A little bit of a backstory. I was on the lookout for a budget Bowie knife for a while. My first dive into the budget Bowie knife world was the Boca Magnum, whatever it was called, like a Vietnam style era design with a stacked leather handle. Same price range, 50 bucks. Quality was really bad, and yeah, I gave that one away. This one, the build quality seems to be decent, a lot better, and I think the price is slightly lower than the Boca one. And it is difficult to make a Bowie knife in this price range, obviously, because you have to cut costs at some part of the knife. The question is just at which one. At this price range we are obviously looking at the knife that is made in China. That should be very obvious, I guess. Should we do some prying? That would be interesting, right? Let's see how the tip handles itself. Decent control from the handle to the tip. Drilling is actually easy. This is not the strongest of tips. A Bowie knife in the end is not a pry bar, so it is a fine point. Yeah, you can definitely pry softer stuff with this tip though, even though it's not the thickest. You shouldn't overdo it with as with any knife basically. I like the blade design very much. It has a nice, and the tip is nice and thin, and the blade stock is thinner, which I like because the grind is really low. I just don't like the handle as much. It feels good when chopping, feels decent, but anytime you choke up and do some closer stuff, it's a little bit uncomfortable because it is in fact so wide, and which makes it very weird to grip. You grip it like this, and naturally you should hold things like this, you know, like a hammer fist, and this is more like your fingers are really far apart from each other, really stretched out. Not the best design in terms of the handle shape here. The chimping is right on the spot where you choke up, so gives you a hot spot right here. So the chimping they could have done without, really. I don't even know why they put chimping up here. It doesn't really make any sense. This is more of a hindering thing than it is a benefit, right? Yeah. Let's keep working. Boom. That was easy. Wasn't a very hard wood though. Let's see if we find something more difficult. Good. All right, now we are on a mission because I want to show you something that is hidden underneath all of these vines. But in order to get close to there, we need to fight our way through this very dense jungle-like wooden area. So as you can see, trapped in here and forgotten by time is an old car. Yep. This motherfucker has spikes all over it. Let's cut it down. I will say, sometimes you glance off. If you cut into something, it will deflect easier than with other blades. This might be because of the hollow grind, I don't know. Maybe it's just a geometry thing. Who knows? I mean, we are in the bush right now. I don't know if I have the brain power to think about geometry and hollow grinds. I'm trying to get into this old car. Oh man. I put the sheath up here because I was holding this the entire time. I also tell you what, I had a beanie when I started this expedition and I'm not having it anymore. I can see where it is, but I'm not getting to it right now. Alright, there we go. So you guys are already in the car. And I need to get myself in there as well. But in order to do so, I have to clear all these spiky trees. Tell you what, for 50 bucks this knife is not bad. Alright, we made it. This one is very naughty and very twisted, like my mind. Boom! I mean, look at this. Come on. Those scales are really cheap, but it works, you know. It does actually work pretty good. Pretty darn good. There is a wear on the blade. It's getting there, you know. It's getting those use and love marks. Okay, let's move on. Well, as expected, it's not super nice in the feather sticking department. Maybe if we sharpen it. And I tell you what, this chimping is annoying as fuck. I mean, come on, who puts chimping right in the place where you choke up? That's just stupid. And it doesn't even benefit you if you hold it where it's supposed to be gripped, you know? There is no need for this chimping at all. Who the fuck put this? Boom! This is so much fun. Let's chop some bottles. This knife is getting dull from all the woodwork, but let's hope it's not too dull to go through these water bottles. We need a little bit more speed, I guess, in order to make it. Let's see. Oh, that was clean. Super clean. Really nice. Felt good. Felt good. I glanced off a little bit, but it was my fault. The knife did do its job. Was good. Was a good cut. from the left to the right side, which is usually my weaker side. I'm better right to left. And this was super easy and super clean. So, speaks for the knife's performance quite a bit. I tell you what, this knife is quite a lot of fun. This went through the bottles with such an ease. The wood chopping was really fun also. Batoning, okay, it was not the best batoner I've ever seen, but pretty decent. I hit the ground with my tip when I was trying to pick up some wood from the floor. So I went straight into concrete with the tip, and it just barely rolled over to one side. So pretty tough actually. And no chips whatsoever in the blade thus far. Still feels decently sharp, at least sharp enough to go through bottles. I mean, that's pretty good. So yeah, not too bad actually. This knife was a lot of fun so far. So this is the knife without scales. The screws came out easily, no Loctite in there. Tubes on one side, screws on the other. I used a T8. If you're looking to make your own scales, which is definitely a possibility here, and you could also narrow down this whole width of the handle, which is really unnecessary. These holes right here, they have like weird sizes. I think the ones on the sides, these two are 4.7 millimeters, and this is like a 5.5 millimeter, and this is like a 7.8 millimeter. So a weird size to get pins in this size. You could obviously use these. I will say these only fit perfectly into these two, and the one on the middle is always going to be loosely. So these are not different tubes, they're all the same size. So yeah, a little bit weird in terms of how it's constructed, but yeah, at least you could definitely make your own scales for this. It's just gonna be interesting if you find pins that fit in here, but yeah, apart from that, looks like a very modifiable blade actually.